Everyone, sorry for today's very late upload. Had a crazy day, been awake since like something around 9 a.m. It's 12 a.m. now. Really tough one, but finally I found the time to record another one. So today's topic is gonna be very long, and sorry for that. Most of my videos are skipped under less than 2 minutes, but whoever will find it interesting might stick around. Today's topic is going to discuss the nature of free-to-play games and how it's important to understand the business model, how it affects you as a player, and what exactly you should expect from a game like MU. So I'll start by saying why am I playing MU at all? It's a phone game, and back in the day when I was around 14, I believe, I started playing MU online, or as it was called, I think MU Global. There was a private server in my country, and I got really hooked on the game as a 14-year-old, and it was really awesome to see yourself being upgraded and wearing shiny gear and working day and night towards getting that Chaos Gem or Soul Gem or Blast Gem and upgrading your gear to the next plus. So that was basically my history with MU. I really liked it, and this reminds me of my childhood a lot. So while browsing through the store, the Google store, I noticed that there is an MU Origin too. And I looked at it and I noticed that most of the game is a copy paste with a lot of improvements of the old one. A little bit of changes to the gear looks or the diviner, which was basically based on the Dark Lord back then. But I decided, well, it's a phone game. I know what I'm getting into, but I should give it a try because maybe this time my mindset is more mature and I know what I'm doing. So we're not fools. We all know that free to play games are never really free to play as it sounds. And what do I mean by that? Free to play games are not a wise business model if you make them fair, because eventually the servers, the maintenance, the customer service, the updates, everything costs a lot of money to the company that owns the game. They need to maintain a profit as well, because there is no point putting 100 on everything and getting 100 in return. It doesn't pay the bills in the end of the day. So the company's motivation is to present you something, hook you on it, and then start, I don't want to call it that way, but it's nickel and dime you to spend money. And most of the free to play mobile games, I'm not talking about PC at the moment, I'm talking mostly about mobile, is that whenever there is an MMO or a social environment, there will always be a competition, there will always be a race. And the first thing that you will always notice is that you have ranking system that shows everyone, hey, look, there is someone with the highest power or the highest level or is the strongest in the arena or climbed the highest in the demon's tower. And so it goes all the time. However, you don't have to participate in the race, but the game goes out of its way to show you that without it you are nothing, because most of the content will be logged behind player interaction with each other. That means if you want to see this lens in your pocket, like those items, which are very useful, um, you have to spend you have to spend money. Otherwise, yeah, there are other options, but you are limited to the amount of the free way you can get them. And sorry, and the rest you will have to pay for if you want extra. So when you're getting into a free-to-play game, you will notice after a very short time that you stop progressing as fast as you have been at the beginning. You're not leveling 5 levels a day, you're leveling half, if not one, if not half per day. You are being constantly beaten by stronger players because you decided not to spend the money on, let's look at the grand store for a moment. Look at this. So we can go and buy a pack for 30, 40 bucks. What do we get? We get really, really good stuff. This one, those gems are really hard to develop. It takes a while. 60 of those, you pay about 3,000 for one, and you can buy 15 in the Alliance store. Those you can buy 5 per day for 10,000. So if you want to upgrade just one gem, one of these level 6 gems, to its maximum potential, it will cost you around 65,000 alliance points or alliance contribution points. And that will be quite slowing you down. And then you come and you see that one day from the beginning of the server, suddenly somebody jumped way, way ahead of you and is now leading by a lot of points. BP means stronger. So, as you can see, there is the numbers and the gaps between players and their BP that shows you how much people tend to spend on the game. So we all know that Max is the leader on the board, and Drake is basically his competitor, and they are always topping up more and more to reach to be the strongest. Now, there is nothing wrong if you have the money to invest and you want to compete in the race. However, a lot of people, including me in the past, thought, hey, I'll get into the game and I will be the leader. I will lead the leaderboard and I'll be at the top. So I went out of my way to spend money I don't really have or should spend on the game. Because we all need to understand the fact that eventually this is not ours. Those pixels we buy, those numbers we accumulate by spending money are not ours. We just pay for an advantage, or in those games, I don't like to call it pay to win. I like to call it time savers. Why I take it to a lower degree of, let's call it, of how evil it is, it's because eventually I will get there. I will get to those 723,000 BP. I'll get there in due time. It will take a while, maybe half a year, maybe a year, but I know that I can go now, buy everything on the store that costs me money, and save the time. Because if I want Archangel weapons, instead of just sitting there and waiting for them, maybe I'll find it somewhere here, I can just go and buy those packs if they have contained some of them. But can't really recall where they are. I just know they exist. That if you buy them, here, $99, you get Archangel weapon scroll straight away. You get 10 glyph boxes that all of them contain yellow glyphs straight away. You jump in BP instantly by spending $100. But you know that in the end of the day, you spent the 100 USD, someone else spent the 100 USD, and both of you are always in the same competition who will spend more. Because if you both spend 100 and you're still at the same level and you still want your advantage, so you go and buy the other one and another one and another one and another one, and you don't stop until you have a higher power, numbers, more pixels basically, and one day the company decides the game is not not profitable anymore. We don't make as much money as we used to, and more leechers or free to play players come into the game, and that's the majority. And those who have spent so much money reach to the point where they have nothing else to spend on. So we stop getting money in. Most of the new servers that open up, people who come and instantly start spending money and get the advantage already know the system. Most of them also have the money to spend, but the game goes out of its way to hook you up on spend money because he always puts it in your face that there is someone stronger than you, and the game locks a lot of good content or something that will give you an advantage behind stronger players. For example, if we go to my warehouse, you can see that I have those red items. Those red items, come from a very specific mob. This mob spawns in the Abyss. The Abyss, basically, is the battlegrounds of cross-server. So those battlegrounds spawn a boss. Now imagine the amount of competition to kill the boss and get those red set items. All the servers are coming over, the top players are dropping in to battle for those bosses to get the ownership. And that leaves you with a lot of players left behind because they're not strong enough. And one day they snap and just go and empty their bank account because they are hooked on the game, they love it, they need the feel of success or achievement, that they are better than someone on the other side of the world that doesn't care about them. Because nobody cares if you're stronger or not. In the end of the day, someone can compete against you, make you spend thousands of dollars on the game. And one day, after you spend so much, he just quits the game and you lost your competition. And you ask yourself, a year later, I could have spent that money on a new car, studies, go to a higher school, buy new clothes, something that will actually benefit you in the real world. Now, again, I'm not saying like spending money is bad. Do whatever you want with your money. But those of you who are not used to this kind of games and you feel like the game is managing to manipulate you to spend, stop for a moment and ask yourself, it's just a game. One day the company can decide to just close the servers and create the next chapter, the next one in the series, MU Origins 3, MU Infinity, MU something, and you will be like, well, all the players are migrating to the new game now, and all the whales will start spending the money again, and they will get the advantage. So what's up with all the thousands of dollars I've already spent here? Because I love the game, I love the characters, I love the design, I love everything. What, I'm gonna stay behind? No, I want to progress to the better version, to the newest one. And you start the cycle again. Who wins out of all of this? Not you, not the top player on the leaderboard. It's the company that knows when to start the cycle all over again. And you will see it across all the games around. So manage your money spending wisely. Even the game, as much as it wants you to spend money, but I have to say, out of all the games I know, the company that holds MU Origin 2 is really generous with you. They're doing as much as they can to make you feel like even though you're not spending money, you have a chance, a very slight chance of getting something. Like if we go to the treasure, beside those items, you have free draws once every 12 hours. So yeah, you get the chance even if you don't have the money to spend or the resources. We have the event that's going on right now. Um, Here, I already collected 132 boxes of it. The game tells me here, even though you're not spending money, you have the chance of getting one of those boxes, which most likely will help you if you get something out of it. Um, but don't think that you have to win the race. I came into this game with one goal. I want to have my gear, I want to have my gear shiny as much as possible. That's all I like about this game. The design, the looks. I really like to feel like I have reached the top of how much I can upgrade my gear. So my goal is to bring every piece of my gear to plus 15. If that's the maximum, maybe it's 13. But as far as I know, it's plus 15, plus 80. Plus 15 in enhancement, plus 80 in appending, and maximum stats at refining. And that's it. That's my goal. Once I have all of my gear at this stage, everything else is just because it's there. But this is my major goal. That's what I want to achieve. And once I have achieved that, I will feel like, hey, it's awesome. I had fun. I think I can move on. But I will never, ever try to compete in this race because I know that all of my money is being spent on pixels and it will eventually die out. The game will die out, the servers will die out, or something else will come out. And I don't have the luxury of free money that I have no use to spend out. But to I want everyone to know that the game will do everything in its power to make you spend money on it. Any way, any way it can to convince you it's worth it. Now, I had a video about should you buy VIP, and yeah, you should. You should advance to at least VIP 3. See it as instead of spending $60 on a AAA game that probably is going to fail because of because of fake advertisement and a lot of lies, that you will give a small donation to the company to make them keep on creating content. It's not like they are not profiting, they're making millions. I think running this game and the servers and everything and maintaining it operative is a fraction of what they make in profits. But still, as if we keep on putting money in, they feel like it's a good investment and they should keep on running the game. But you don't have to participate in the ranking race to enjoy what the game is offering you, because the game offers you a lot of free content that will give you a lot of game time that is worth it. I myself, I really enjoy it. It reminds me of the small Tamaguchis we had in the 90s, that you wake up in the morning, you feed your pet, play with it, keeping it happy, giving it a shower till the day is over, and you pray that when you wake up, your pet is not dead. Same with them. You go every day, do your routine, hope that you get more power, climbing your levels up to get better gear, and that's it. Every day you go to sleep. I got stronger today. I got the ultimate skill I wanted. I reached the next dungeon, and so on and so forth. Or I got a new item that I really wanted. Like for me today, the best thing that happened to me today was this. I got those gloves. They were 85 battle power weaker, but I have 7.3% more defense bonus. So I was like, oh, that's a great item. Finally, I got something good from Kalima. So yeah, that was the best thing that happened to me today in the game. And it's awesome. So enjoy the free content. You don't have to participate in the racing game to enjoy it, unless you just like you get hooked on the power fantasy of being the strongest around, then feel free. Um, a really, really good video that came out recently to the internet is called Let's Go Whaling. Y- Search it on YouTube. It's called Let's Go Whaling. It's a CEO of a company that explains all the tactics the mobile gaming industry use against you as a customer in free-to-play games to try and squeeze every bit of money they can. Um, the the guy on the lecture even says, "Is it ethical? Let's put this aside. We're not discussing if it's ethical or not, because in the end of the day, there is someone there who is not a gamer. They don't play this game. All they do is put a lot of investment, a lot of money, expecting to have a big return. Imagine a 55-year-old businessman who all he cares about is that he gets a huge paycheck in the end of the quarter for all the profits the game made for him. He's never even turned a game on his phone. All right? So I hope this is opening your eyes a bit about how those games are working, and I hope you set yourself good goals to keep you playing the game. It's a great game. I really like it. It basically, that's the only thing right now that helps me go through my week without noticing the time passed. And at work, at home, it burns my time, and I'm not complaining. As much as there is, let's call it competition, and sometimes the stronger are those who are doing all the job. I don't care. I'm still having fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.